Okay, these next notes, PE, evaluate algebraic expressions involving integers. So this is basically what we were just doing, but with like a twist with some letters in it. So the first thing, an integer. Remember what that is? Integer is a whole number, positive, negative, or zero. Again, that number line is there to kind of remind you. An algebraic expression. So an expression is something that does not have an equal sign. So an expression has no equal sign. Specifically, an algebraic expression is made up of constants, variables, and operations. So a constant is just kind of like a number. So 1, -5, 7. Variables, those are your letters, X, Y, Z. And then operations, that's like plus, minus, times, division, just anything like that. So a variable, like I just said, to define this, a variable is, in short, just a letter, but it's a letter that is taking the place or holding the place of a number. So it's holding the place temporarily until you replace it with another number, which is what we have next here, substitute. So substitute is to replace that letter with an actual number. So a short example here of what an algebraic expression might look like is 5x minus 3. So we have our variable, which is the x. We might substitute something in for it. Each section is split up by our operation, which is minus. And that's what we're going to be doing down here, is these expressions. And we are going to be plugging in the numbers to get a final answer. So we're going to start with our first one. So we have a plus b. So if you see over here to the left, a is 4. So I'm going to put 4 right here. And then b is -5. So I'm going to put -5 right here. So that gives me 4 plus -5. And you have to go back to our other notes to remember how to do your operations, but this would leave me with -1. So that is my answer. And I do have an equal sign here, but there's nothing really on the other side of it. It's just to show you that I'm looking for an answer. All right, so the next one we have -b and we have a c. So I'm going to put b right here, and then my c is going to go right here. So this one's a little bit tricky because it says -b, and b is already negative. So that means that we're going to have a double negative. We're going to have minus -5, and then plus -8. So remember, what do we do when we have a double negative? We turn it to a plus or a positive. So this is actually going to become 5 plus -8, or you could write it as 5 minus 8, which is equal to -3. So that's our answer for that one. This next one involves all of the letters. So I'm going to put 4 right here in place of A. I'm going to put -5 here in place of B, and -8 here in place of C. And if you notice, what's around this is an absolute value symbol. So basically, I'm going to add all of these numbers, and whatever I get, I'm going to make it positive. So the absolute value of 4 plus -5 plus -8. So I'm going to start by doing the -5 plus the -8 to kind of simplify it for myself. So 4 plus -13, or 4 minus 13 is what that becomes. So then it becomes the absolute value of -9, which is +9. All right, we're going to try some more with some different letters. So here we have K, M, and N. So this should actually be an M, not a 4. So we have M minus 9. So my M is negative 6, which we can see again over here. All of our values are right here. So I'm going to have negative 6 minus 9. And they're both negatives, so that just gives me negative 15. Now I have M minus negative 8. M is negative 6, so negative 6 minus negative 8. We have a double negative, which means I have to change it to a plus. Negative 6 plus 8, which is 2. And if you need to, like over to the side, write out your counters, you can, or the charts, to be able to cancel them out to see what your answer is. So we're left with 2 pluses. So again, that matches with my answer. All right, the next one I have negative 5 plus K minus N. So negative 5 and then plus K, and K is negative 3. So you could write plus negative 3, or you can just put minus 3. And then minus N, and N is 9, so minus 9. So here you could do a chart if that helps you, a plus and a minus chart. So I have a 5 a negative, a 3 that's negative, and a 9 that's negative. So in total on the negative side, I have 17, which means that my answer is negative 17. All right, then we have the absolute value of M minus K. So the absolute value, M is negative 6 minus K, and K is negative 3. So I'm going to have to do minus a negative 3, which becomes a plus. So this is really the absolute value of negative 6 plus 3. And this one I'll show you the chart way if you need help with that. So I have 3 on the positive side, 6 on the negative side. The difference between these two numbers is 3, but the bigger one is negative. So I have more over here on the negative side, so my answer is negative 3. So the absolute value of negative 3, which is 3. So these do sometimes require a lot of steps, a lot of thinking, so just take it slow. It's completely fine if you need to take it really slow at first. It can be confusing, but you need to build this foundation so you can be successful in our future units.